Alright, here's what we're doing today. So I just ordered 2 different types of chicken strips from 2 different restaurants on Uber Eats. I've always been curious about them, so I kind of just wanted to try them out. One is from Lone Star Grill, which is a chain restaurant here in Ontario. And the other is from this new restaurant I've never heard of called Frankie's Hot Chicken. So just kind of wanted to try them out and see what they're all about. Let's give them a shot. Okay, this is kind of weird because these chicken strips literally taste the exact same. Same texture, same flavor. I mean, apart from the sauce, they're the exact same. Okay, I got some questions. Why do these chicken strips taste the exact same? Is there something unethical about this? And what's the reason behind it? So I live in a small town just outside of Toronto, and for the better part of 2020 as well as 2021, we've been under lockdown along with the rest of Southern Ontario.
COVID is spreading rapidly.
I'm going to come down on them like an 800-pound gorilla.
I'm announcing today that Ontario will enter a province-wide shutdown.
So a lockdown means a bunch of different things that I won't get into for this video, but if your area is in a similar situation to mine or you're just afraid of getting sick, you probably haven't been to a restaurant in a while. So in the past year, there's probably a good chance you've ordered from a food delivery app. And as I've been ordering on these apps for the better part of a year, there's certain restaurants that I've never heard of before. And keep in mind that I live in a pretty small town that I've lived in for almost my entire life. So if a restaurant pops up, I'll probably know about it. But on Uber Eats, I see restaurants like this Frankie's Hot Chicken, for example, and I've never seen it before. So I wanted to do some digging. Let's go for a ride. So I'm here at the location that I ordered the first set of chicken strips from, and that's all fine and good. It's where I expected it to be. I've been to this restaurant before, but then I checked the location for Frankie's Hot Chicken, the second set of chicken strips that I ordered, and it's the exact same location as this. If you're confused, let me explain. So Frankie's Hot Chicken isn't the only restaurant like this. If you're surfing your favorite food delivery app, you might find restaurants like OMG Pizza, Best Crispy Fried Chicken, Fried Chicken Savage, and yes, these are actual names. And the reason why these names appear to be so strange is that they're not even real. And by not real, here's what I mean. Yes, if you order food from these restaurants, that is completely real. You'll get what you ordered. But if you actually wanted to go inside of a place like Fried Chicken Savage and eat there, could you? Well, no. And that's because these restaurants are completely virtual. Inside these restaurants are your normal affairs of waiters and waitresses, hostess, chefs, managers, and everything else that makes a dining establishment. But inside that kitchen, you have what's known as a virtual restaurant. Here you can take away the waiters, hostess, seating, bartenders, and really everything else besides the chefs and some management. And that's because these restaurants are only available through food delivery apps. So locations can essentially have multiple restaurants inside their kitchens in order to maximize profit, and they're doing it with a fraction of the staff. This is really where SEO comes into play. For example, burgers, pizza, and fried chicken are some of the most popular food categories. So a restaurant that might sell really good burgers can create 3 or 4 different burger brands on a food app. These would be scaled down menus with only 5 options as opposed to 20. And they'd still be using the same ingredients with maybe a slight variation to them. Now, instead of the restaurant getting just a single chance to make an impression on someone using these apps, they can now get 3 or 4. And it really doesn't make a difference to them because it's coming from the exact same location. During times where people are eating more takeout than ever, this can only help restaurants survive. Since the start of the pandemic, 10,000 restaurants have closed here in Canada. So they're desperate to make money any way they can. But this isn't the only fake restaurant you'll see on food delivery apps. There's also another version called ghost kitchens. And these aren't restaurants but are instead just kitchen spaces. They're intended for restaurants just starting up, or really any entrepreneur that might want to try the food business. Instead of coming from an already known establishment, these restaurants are completely new. But one of the most interesting uses of these virtual kitchens are actually how influencers are using them.
Gay burger.
Mr. Beast burger.
It's the best item on the menu so far.
On December 19th, 2020, Mr. Beast opened up 300 restaurants all across the United States. Although he's one of the most successful social media stars in the world, he actually didn't do this, at least not traditionally. He did it all with virtual kitchens through food delivery apps. So instead of having a restaurant create a completely unknown brand like Frankie's Hot Chicken, you now have a food brand that's endorsed and directly related to famous influencers. And it's not just Mr. Beast either. In July of 2020, rapper Tyga came out with his own food brand, Tyga Bites, and more recently, Elijah Daniels released Gay Burger. And the economics of this are unclear right now, but it looks like these virtual restaurants might be the next big cash grab for influencers to hop on. All they really need to do is advertise it and the restaurant does the rest. The whole idea behind these restaurants is it's almost like clickbaiting but for food. So is this unethical in any way? Are people being somehow tricked into eating something? Well, no, not at all. At the end of the day, people are getting what they order, whether it's a chicken sandwich or a burger, they're still getting the food. Just because that brand doesn't seem exactly how it appeared to be, doesn't really matter, does it? And restaurants need to do everything they can to survive right now, so if that means they're using these food services to their advantage, then so be it. And these concepts, they're successful. So much so that we might actually see a real-life Mr. Beast burger restaurant someday. But as of now, these restaurants will be strictly online. At least for me, and maybe some of you probably won't be eating inside of a restaurant anytime soon. So for now, I'll be chowing down on my favorite influencer burger.